Hi, I'm Jackson Kramer alongside with Beck Blyer and Ben Weinstein. Today we're going to be arguing. The first topic we have is who the best wide receiver is in the NFL. Beck, who do you have?
I'm gonna go. Yeah, can I give three?
Yeah, or no, only one.
Okay. I think the best. I'm gonna go with DeAndre Hopkins. I think his ability that in 2018, remember he had 0 drops. 2019, he didn't have as good as a season, and then 2020 in Arizona, he had an amazing season. He just was a little bit worse at the end of the season due to some injuries to the quarterback. But I think he's the best receiver in the league, and I have 4 other guys that I would want to put here. But if I'm gonna use one, I'm gonna go with him.
Okay. Ben?
I have Devontae Adams. I mean, with Aaron Rodgers last year, he was the most dominant player in all of last year. You could maybe besides Derrick Henry, you could not stop him. A lot of yards, a lot of touchdowns. He was open a lot. His route running is amazing. He can be physical. He can do anything you need him to do. He can do it as one of the best in the league at everything. I mean, there's just nothing you can't dislike about him. I mean, he's just the perfect receiver.
Okay, Beck, what do you have to say to that?
Devontae Adams is amazing. I can't say against that. But if you're playing with a quarterback like Aaron Rodgers, sometimes Aaron Rodgers elevates receivers to the next level. Like, look, he made Alan Lazard look like a superstar. I'm not taking away that Devontae Adams is not a superstar, but I've seen Rodgers make guys that I've never heard of become superstars for 3 weeks when players are injured, which is insane. Like, if I want to see what Adams does with Jordan Love if Rodgers is out and see like really how good he is. Where a guy like DeAndre Hopkins, yes, he's had good quarterbacks, but like look at who he put up amazing numbers with. What's his name? Tom Savage. He was putting up good numbers with.
I mean, the thing about D-Hop that concerns me is just that I feel like his physicality is great. His route running is great. I feel like sometimes his slot ability really can lack, which I think Devontae just excels in. So that's why I think it's Devontae.
Okay,
it's
that
very
is time.
close.
We're moving on to who will win the World Series in baseball. Ben?
I have the Chicago White Sox. Call me a homer, I don't care. But the White Sox are the best team in baseball. They have one of the best rosters when healthy, which they should be all healthy. They have a great pitching rotation with a bullpen that can sustain full playoffs and full series. Luis Robert is great. Eloy, Tim Anderson. There's so many more guys too. They have veterans, they have young guys, and they have the middle grounds. I mean, their rotation: Lucas Giolito, Lance Lynn, Dylan Cease, and more. Carlos Rodon. I mean, you can't. There's nothing you can't like about this team. I think they'll perform when it comes time, and I think they'll take the league by storm. Surprising.
Okay.
I don't know too much. I've only watched like 3 baseball games this year. I check in the scores, but I don't really watch them, so I don't really know like too deep of how teams have been playing. But I do know the records, so I'm gonna go with the team that is the best team currently, I believe, at least in the NL, and that is the San Francisco Giants. And they've been playing good. They're a very veteran-led team. They can basically do anything. They have a very deep rotation, so I'm gonna go with them.
Okay.
My problem with the Giants is just that they have been on a cold streak lately. They're veterans. I mean, their veterans have playoff experience. I'm not gonna knock that. But outside of Kevin Gossman and the occasional Johnny Cueto game, I don't think they're not. They don't have everything amazing in the rotation, and your bullpen is an issue. I mean, they really only got 1 or 2 guys who are consistent, and you're going to need a lot more than 1 or 2 guys for a full playoffs, and especially in the World Series.
Okay. Beck, what do you have to say about that?
Well, I think they can. I don't know too much, so I don't have too much of a rebuttal, but I'm going to say what I can. And about the White Sox, they were in the playoffs last year, but that was kind of like a weird 60-game, 8-team COVID year. I don't believe
still won the division.
Yeah, I know, but still, it's only a 60-game season, so I'm not going to count it too much last year. But I can't take away that they were good. They don't have too much playoff experience because the years where it's really counted, like really badly, they haven't really been in the playoffs. But they still are a good team, and I think they can go up.
Okay, that is time. We're moving on to our last topic. We have the most underrated running back in all of the NFL. Beck, who do you have?
I'm gonna give two guys. I'm gonna start with Nick Chubb. I think he's one of the best running backs in the NFL. I'm putting him. I think he's fourth in the league, and I don't think he gets the respect of four. He had 1,000 yards and he missed 5 games last season. At the end of the year, my fantasy team had so many injuries. He was one of them, but when he was back, he would kind of help get me back into contention at times. And he's definitely a very talented running back. Can't really catch that great, but can catch. Gets a lot of touchdowns. Can run for 20 yards anytime. And if I have to give another, I'm gonna go Austin Eckler of the Chargers. He's one of the best receiving backs, if not the best, in the whole league. He can catch 80 yards deep. He's like a receiver, but a running back, and I think he's gonna be a good piece for another weapon for Justin Herbert on the Chargers.
Okay, so Ben, you're gonna give two.
My two guys, I got David Montgomery and Damian Harris. Montgomery is on a Bears team with not a lot of offensive weapons, and at the end of the season, the last I'd say 5 or so weeks, he was a top 5 fantasy running back. I mean, 5+ a bunch of touchdowns, bunch of yards, and I think with the Bears offensive line, I think it'll be very improved this year. I think he will be a great running back this year. And another guy is Damian Harris. He can catch, he has size, he has strength, he has speed. He has the best coach, maybe of all time, in Bill Belichick, and a Patriots offense that's reloaded with a lot of weapons. So I think he will have a breakout year, and I think he'll be in contention for the most improved player.
Damian Harris is interesting because I'm almost treating it as his rookie season because he only played a few games last year because he got injured, I recall, and I do think that's a solid pick. But it's hard to say he's underrated because he's only played a few games. But for the games he played, he was really good. In the first game, I remember someone had no running backs, and he had 21 fantasy points, and I was like, wow, who is this guy? And then I started paying more attention to him. I do think he can make a name for himself after this year. And David Montgomery, I think he is underrated, but I don't think he's that underrated because I think a lot of people, especially in Chicago, here talk about him, but they're pretty good picks. I can't argue against.
All right, what do you have to say about that, Ben?
So Nick Chubb, I'm just worried about his pass catching ability. I think Eckler is a phenomenal pick. He has speed. He can catch the ball. He can do anything you need him to do. He is great. He's a great weapon for Herbert. I love that pick. My problem with Nick Chubb is he also is sharing a backfield with Kareem Hunt, who will take away touches, and Nick Chubb is just not there with the hands. So that's just my main problem with Chubb. But I still think he's a good pick. In my opinion, he's RB6 currently. McCaffrey, Saquon, Cook, Kamara, and Derrick Henry. That's my top 5 in no order. I think Chubb is a close number 6. Eckler's the 10 range, top 10 for sure. But I like those picks a lot. So
Okay, that is time. Thank you guys for tuning in to Pardon the Interruption.
I'm Ben Weinstein.
I'm
Beck
Jackson,
Blyer.
and I'm Jackson Kramer. Tune in. Bye.